Hi everyone, welcome to our next video in our Connecting Data Sources to Plotly Studio series. Today we're going to be connecting Plotly Studio to MySQL. MySQL is one of the oldest and most recognized databases in the world. For a huge portion of the internet, it's the foundation that everything is built on. As the web has grown, managed cloud versions from AWS, Google, and Azure have made MySQL easier than ever to run at scale. It's an open source relational database that stores and retrieves the structured data, powering applications, websites, and backends. If you've ever used WordPress or almost any content-driven web platform, you've been touching MySQL. It's a staple for web developers and backend engineers who need something proven, fast, and widely supported. It's also a natural starting point for developers early in their career, thanks to new universal hosting support and an enormous community. Today, I'm going to be connecting Plotly Studio to MySQL on a locally running instance of MySQL. And so I'm going to just ask it to connect. It's going to generate a credentials screen. And thankfully, I have all of these credentials handy, generated by the database when I created it. I'm running it locally, but this would be some sort of IP address or web URL where you can access your database. I'm going to enter my username, my password, and my port is the default for MySQL, which is 3306, but sometimes you may be running it on a different port. So just check yours as you enter these credentials. So I'm going to save the credentials, and Plotly is going to ultimately enter them to explore the different objects in the database. And I can see that I don't have a ton of tables in my MySQL database here. As it returned the Database Explorer, I've got 2. And so I'm going to ask it to connect to what I think is a pretty fun data set, the SNOWTEL weather data set from Lake Tahoe, which keeps track of snowfall. Connect to SNOWTEL weather data table. And so just like that, I'm going to zoom in and start looking at this table with Plotly Studio. And so I've got my data view here. I can see the different measurements. And so I'm going ahead and click continue to start building my application, blocking my button there with my face. And so I'm going to now start creating an application using the data code that we've just generated, connecting to MySQL. And it's that simple. I used a JDBC type connection. Your database administrator may set something up differently. Just speak to them, but I hope this was helpful, and I can't wait to see what you build with Plotly Studio and MySQL. Thank you. Take care. Have a nice afternoon.